Hi everyone, it's me again, back from a bit of a long break. Again, I think my last video was probably a bit of a downer too, which probably contributes to the reason why I've been on a bit of a break. I want to apologise for it, but I kind of realise I should probably stop apologising for it. I'm going to upload videos when I can find time to record them, when I can find time to do them, and when I can find something that I think is interesting to talk about. So there's no guaranteed release schedule. I want to try and be better, I want to try and be quicker, but life gets in the way sometimes and we just have to do what we can do and prioritise those things that we need to prioritise. And as much as I love making YouTube channels, my family's a priority most of the time and my writing's the second priority after that. Hopefully a fairly quick video just to give you a little bit of an update about where I am, where I've been, what's been happening. So as you can see by my surroundings, I'm out of my tiny little room and into something a little bit nicer. It's still just a little corner, but it's a little corner in a much nicer space, and as you can see, I can decorate it a little bit, put some things up in the background. I've got some of my books. Yeah, so as you can see, I can do a bit of decorating and have my dogs on my lap rather than barking at me downstairs. So my books, just a few of the ones that I've written and released are up there. I need to fill out the collection, but not all of them are in paperback. And Amazon doesn't make it very easy for us Australian authors to get our copies of our own books. So I need to order some from Ingram, and it's a whole thing. So yeah, that's my little corner and my little area and where I've been doing a bit of decorating, and probably do a bit more decorating, but I have to admit I have no idea what I want to put back there or what I'm going to put back there, but yeah, there's some space, so maybe I'll get the frame and put something interesting in the frame or something like that. I don't know. If you've got any suggestions, I'm happy to hear them. Other than that, I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update, and especially compared to where I was before my last video, I am doing very, very well. Things are fantastically better at the moment. I'm back writing again. I had a bit of an epiphany that I don't know how to spell it out, but I kind of realised that I love the Phoebe Reid story. I love the whole Declan Reid story. I love the Reid family saga in general. I poured my heart and soul into those books, but especially the Phoebe books. They have a special place of healing and of, I don't even know how to describe it, emotion for me. Like they wrecked me physically, they wrecked me emotionally, but in the best possible way. And to me, I guess they are an example of the best I can do. And I think I was comparing anything else that I do. I need to not make those comparisons because every book is different, just like every child will be different. You know, I know a lot of people often describe their books as, you know, being like children and being as painful as children and not being able to pick a favourite because of it. And I guess in that sort of way, you know, not every child is going to be an A student, but they're going to excel in other ways. And I just need to sort of realise that with my books as well, that even if it's a little bit more rote than some of the others, or even if it's a little bit more cliched than the others, sometimes that's not necessarily a bad thing. You're right there. Sorry, got puppy on the screen. She's feeling a bit snuggly today, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get rid of her. So you'll have to put up with her. I hope that's okay. I hope she's not interrupting the sound too much, same as the other one who's clip-clopping around the floor down there. It's good that I can be in here and have them in here with me so that they're not barking at the door and scratching at the door. But obviously the drawback to that is that they will occasionally pop up on videos, but I guess it depends on if you're a dog lover or not as to whether that's a drawback or a positive. If I'm recording for my books, obviously they won't be able to be in here because of even the small scuffling sounds that they make is too much for the microphone, for the professional microphone to pick up. So the small scuffling sounds they make as they walk around is too much for that professional microphone. It'll pick them up and they'll ruin the takes. So hopefully it's not too bad on this video, but ultimately this video isn't for audio only, so it makes it a bit less of a worry if there is a few little clip-clops around and things like that. So in terms of my books, like I said, I've been writing again. I finally finished a book duet that I I had thought I'd finished the book, but being honest with myself and based on feedback that I got, it wasn't finished. There was a little bit that was a bit rough, a bit rushed, and I think that came through in the writing a little bit. So I basically went back to the drawing board on it a little bit and realised that it really needed to be 2 books because there were 2 stories being told. One in how the couple meets, and then the next in how they navigate their relationship through international relationship and stuff like that. And yeah, so I've split that down, I've slowed it down a little bit, added in more of the what happens in between stuff, and I'm quite proud of where it's at and I'm quite happy with it. So the first of those books I'm hoping to release in February, so I've got it up for pre-order at the moment. I'll put links down in the description. I'll be putting it on sale for the pre-order of $2.99. It'll eventually go up to $4.99. That's US dollars, so that will be whatever that converts to, with Amazon converting it automatically. It's available everywhere, or mostly everywhere, so especially the big ones, Nook, Kobo, Amazon, iTunes, all of those places. The blurb will be, I'll put that down in the description as well, so you can have a look at that. The second of those books, and it is only the 2 for those particular characters, that completes their story arc, or at least for the moment. If they start to tell me something more later on down the track, I can't be held responsible for that. I won't be held responsible for the actions of my characters because they do strange and crazy things sometimes. But yeah, the second of those books is also finished, and I'm hoping to release that one in June. So again, I've got it up for pre-order, so if you want to grab an early copy, or not an early copy, but if you want to get onto the pre-orders, then at least I know that people are excited about that book coming out, and I can start to get onto the next thing and the next exciting thing, which I've got a book at the moment which I'm quite happy with. It contains one of the characters within the duet, like one of the side characters. She's getting her own story, and she's an Australian from country Victoria, and having a very interesting experience, shall we say, after something happens with her family. So that is a fun book to write, which sounds weird and will sound extra weird once you read it, but I am having a good time writing again, which is fantastic because, like I said in my last video, I'd been having massive struggles. It's been 2 or 3 years since I really sat down and wrote and enjoyed writing as much as I am at the moment, and so that's been fantastic. So yeah, on the book front, there's a lot of exciting things happening. On the health front, I've had a few more issues, and I'm hoping that those issues are now resolved. Hey Jax, what you doing? What you doing, buddy? So in September, I ended up having to go in and get my gallbladder removed. So that was yet another surgery on my list of surgeries, but I'm hoping that that brings an end to it now. I've been feeling fantastic since then. I've been back to the gym, I've been back at dance, and I've been back doing sort of all the things I used to do back in November last year. COVID obviously isn't as big of an issue at the moment in Australia, so I am able to go to the gym. There are a few restrictions and changes, but they're relatively minor and more inconveniences than anything else. So yeah, I've been going to aqua aerobics in the morning again, and walking the dogs for an hour to an hour and a half every day, and then heading to either dance or yoga or Pilates every evening mostly. And yeah, it's been really good. I've been feeling fantastic getting back into all of those things that I haven't been able to do for so long. Some of that might have contributed to the funk that I was in, but there was also a lot that was to do with those writings and having that epiphany that I had, which kind of helped me clear out the mental attic, I guess you could say. So yeah, everything's pretty good. I did Nanowrimo this year again. I've tried it every year. The first few years I did fantastic and nailed the 50,000 words, by 3/4 of the way through the month. The last couple of years I barely even made 3,000 words. So just as an example what I was talking about the writing just going downhill and not being able to work out where it was coming from and why it was coming from and what was causing that massive block that I was having. Stop. But now, what are you doing? but now that I've been, but yeah, this year I've already hit my 50,000. I did it as a rebel this year. If you're not sure what that means, it basically means you don't start a new book necessarily. You just try and hit 50,000 in total. Pretty much every year that I've done it as a rebel, because I don't tend to start and finish one book all in one hit. I tend to jump around between projects, and it's just the way that my brain works. I can't sort of sit and do one book non-stop. I need to have the ability to chop and change, and doing Nano as a rebel does that. Some people say that it doesn't count, but Nano isn't about one thing. It's not about doing the specific rules. To me at least, it's about embracing the desire to get the novel out. So whatever you have to do that, however that has to be, whether you can only manage 20,000 words in a month or whether you can do 100,000 words in a month, it's about challenging yourself. It's about challenging the way that you do it, and just making sure that you're showing up regularly to write. So it's about showing up regularly to write and showing up for yourself a lot more regularly. So that's where I kind of see Nano, and that's why I don't feel guilty about claiming a win, even if I did it as a rebel. For this year, for example, Bounce Pass was one of the books I was working on. I only had about 30,000 words to write on it to finish it. So because I wanted to get that one done, and because that was sort of what sparked me going back into writing, I didn't want to ignore it for an entire month. But 30,000 words is a lot to sort of write off as, well, I'm going to do this on top of a 50,000 word story or anything like that. So yeah, I just made sure that I did what I could and hit 50,000. I've already hit it with a few days to spare. Although by the time this goes up, it's probably going to be close to the end of the month. So you won't necessarily know how many days to spare I had, but I'm hoping to hit at least 60 or 65 by the end of the month. Today's a weekend, which is usually a good chance for me to catch up. I might only get 500 or 600 words during the week days, just because of everything I've got on, but then on the weekend, you know, I can get the 5 or 6,000 words to push that up. Yeah, in terms of other updates, there's not a lot happening, other than just, like I said, I'm just having a really, I felt really inspired lately and felt really, really good. And I don't know exactly what's caused it, but I'm not going to complain about it at all. I've been getting back on the train of actually trying to promote my books a little bit. I'm still really bad at it. It's still never going to feel natural to me to say, hey, look at what I've written. Do you want to read it? I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I'm more like, oh my God, I wrote this. I want people to read it, but I'm going to tell people about it. So yeah, if you want to check out any of my books and you haven't before, I'll try and put a link in the description. I've got a very eclectic collection. I've got contemporary romances, women's fiction, paranormal romances, a range of... Stop it, puppies. Stop it. Sit, Luna, sit. Go sit. But a range of different stories written under both my actual name and also my pen name. So if you want to check any of them out, really do feel free. I've got comedies. I don't write one particular genre. I can't. I get bored with myself, and you know, I'll write something heavy like the Phoebe Reid series, and then I'll want something light, and that's when I wrote The Art of Love, or filled out The Art of Love at least. I had the outline of it to a degree for a fanfic years and years ago. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Things are going really well. I hope things are going really well for you. I hope that wherever you are, you're safe and you're happy and your families are well. You know, there's a lot going on in the world at the moment, and I just want to spread positivity as much as I can, and I'm trying to embrace that myself. Even this week I felt myself starting to spiral on a few things, and I've just sort of, I guess, tried to stop and consider things a little bit. Now, part of my positive attitude might be the fact that I'm back on antidepressants, and maybe I need to be on them for life now. Maybe there is something that's fundamentally wrong with my brain chemistry, that it can't produce the serotonin itself, or it's blocking it incorrectly or something like that. And there's no shame in that. If that's what it takes to be happy and healthy and creative, then that's what I'm going to do. I take other medications for other health problems, so what's the difference? And yeah, if you need anything like that, feel free to talk to a counsellor and talk to a family doctor about it and find out what you need. There's no shame in being happy and healthy and doing whatever you need to do to get there. I think that's about all I need to update you on at the moment. Next time I might try locking the dogs out of the room so that they're not interrupting quite as frequently. But it's hard to be sad with these two around. So yeah, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, have a great day, and I'm hoping I'll get more videos up before then, but if I don't, have happy holidays, whether that's Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. Whatever it is, just have a good one, and don't see family if you're in an area that COVID is still an issue. Just Zoom, do things safely, be safe and happy, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.